Hey folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, folks, let's get right into the mix here. Markets are slightly off the highs of the day. Strong rally across the board after sizable economic news came in. And again, they had the ISM Manufacturing Index at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. this morning. That was good. Initially, that's really what caught the eye of the markets. And again, see this big green candle with the consolidation and the continuation up? That's really where that market data hit, and then the market took off. Earlier this morning, we got the non-farm payrolls number, which was an okay number. Revisions to last numbers created the initial gap up in the market. And again, the market since then has been on a nice rampage higher, hitting the 150-142 level on the SPY. Now, one thing I just want to make sure everyone's aware of, in my opinion, right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is trading at 13,999, right 1 point away from 14,000. Because it's the weekend, it's Super Bowl weekend, the media will pump it. They know that. They will close this market at 14,000, in my opinion. I'd be somewhat surprised if they close the market below 14,000. And again, they did this with 1,500 on the S&P just a week ago or so. They closed it just above, I think it was last Friday, they closed the S&P just above the 1,500 level, so the media could pump all weekend long. And keep that in mind, folks. Think about how it works. And this is something that, again, the elite investors understand. And going into today, no one should be super surprised that you're getting this push into Super Bowl weekend. So Super Bowl weekend is this weekend. Huge weekend for spending, for buying food, new TVs, etc. And going into the weekend, the Dow 14,000, the news headlines, nightly news tonight, you watch. We close above 14,000. The leading story on the nightly news will be the markets. Now, why is that important? Well, when the media pumps something like 14,000 or 1,500 on the S&P over the weekend, it puts everyone out there, the retail investor, in a jovial mood. They get all pumped. Oh, this is great. My 401k's up again. I'm going to go out and spend money. Well, why do they want people to spend money? It stimulates the economy. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you can control the markets to a certain extent, you control consumer spending. If the markets collapse 1,000 points next week, how many people are going to be going out and shopping next weekend? You see what I'm saying? So again, that's the game plan here. You have to anticipate that we will close above 14,000. They're going to pump all weekend long. You expect money flow. Mutual fund Monday will be Monday coming up, the first Monday of every month when money can flow into mutual funds the most. You'll see that money flow in. That should keep the markets up on Monday, in my opinion, at least early. And then I think once you have that, you'll probably go sideways the rest of the week, maybe start to pull back just a little bit. So again, that's my prognosis for this market as we continue to trade. And you can see we've pulled off the highs a little bit, but interestingly enough, the market is starting to hold steady right here. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average currently trading at 14,001. So 14,001, almost 002, but right above that 14,000 level. And again, my prediction is we'll close here or higher at the end of the trading day today. 14,000 will be held. Media will pump all weekend long. And again, more retail investors will be coming into the market early next week. Let's take a look at the dollar today. Dollar is on the verge of triggering a head and shoulders pattern. Amazingly enough, it's back towards that trend line. If we go to the daily chart here on the UUP, which is the ETF that tracks it, here's your head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Now look at this. They're trying to save the dollar. If I take the neckline here, draw it across, you close one more penny up on the UUP and you're going to close right back on that line and it won't have triggered. I mean, this is crazy stuff how they're trying their best to hold the dollar at this trend line. Can they do it? All right, remember, if the head and shoulder pattern breaks its neckline, that means it's triggered, and that would be bearish for the dollar as long as it does not fail. Failure would occur if it closes back above the neckline. All right, as long as it closes below, it tells you the dollar should move lower until failure. Once it fails again, as I said, then it's negated. All right, but again, a close below would mean further downside in the dollar, further weak dollar action. Taking a look at the commodities out there, Gold is trading up about 44 cents on the GLD. Not much of a move there. The SLV remains nicely positive, up 47 cents. Nice move on silver today. Very, very nice move. Again, remember, silver is partially an industrial metal, so you anticipate with stronger economic growth, silver should get more of a bid than gold. Gold is more of a store of safety, so really, if things look much, much better, it's less likely that gold will be wanted to be held as opposed to silver for industrial purposes. All right, so that's what we have going on here with SLV. Let's take a look at the USO. Oil is trading slightly higher after a gap down today. Oil had a nice gap down. Look at it roar back. All right, now the key is to recognize you filled a gap on the daily chart on the USO. Take a look right here. That filled a couple days ago. You got a minor pullback off of it. I told my members to not short silver at the gap fill because I only expected a small pullback, and that's exactly what we got. Dead on call right there. Looking across the board, folks, what else do we have going on? Let's take a look at Apple. Apple is trading actually negative on the day. Now, it's off its lows, but to see Apple this week in this market environment, what does it tell us? With a strong rally in the market and Apple negative, Apple's going lower, folks. Next week, Apple will head lower. I do believe that it will head towards the 420 level. That's my final target on Apple to the downside. There's a chance it even gets down to 400, but really for 420, I start to get interested on the long side. I will post to my members when I buy. And again, if you're a member of the Research Center, you will get that alert, text, email alert, whatever it is. If you're a member of the Research Center, it'll be posted on the Hot Charts and Alerts and sent out to you. Google having a monstrous day today, guys. Google, great move, up $18. I've been telling my members it was going to go to double top for the last 2 weeks, the 52-week highs. Guess where it is? Guess where it hit today? Look at this. Take your trend line right there. Draw it right across. Bam. I told them also you could scalp short the highs. Look at that. Here was your high pivot. Look at the pullback. Just as a scalp intraday short. But nonetheless, even as resistance, that's good resistance right there. Another stock approaching major resistance, JP Chase. Hit $48 today. If you go back, look at how close it is to this double top right here. Awesome level on JP Chase. All right, that's going to be huge resistance. It's actually the 2010 high as well. So 2010, 2011, and 2013 basically high. Amazon continues to remain weak. This also tells me that Amazon should continue selling next week. The fact that this stock is under pressure. Again, earnings were kind of a weirdness to earnings. Earnings came out. They missed estimates on both revenue and earnings, EPS. The stock initially plummeted to 250, then went to 290 after hours, opened at 284, and has since just sold off. And again, it blew my mind to see the stock rally all the way to 290 after hours, but look at how much it's come back in. Here it opened after earnings right up here, and it's just come down. I think next week you test this 50 MA double bottom again. Double bottom right there, 50 MA. That's my analysis. You should test that level. All right. Looking at some other key stocks, Goldman Sachs continues its march. I called out to my members that you would see Goldman hit $150 and pierce it, and that would be the resistance level. Guess what it hit today? 150.40, and it's now back below 150. So again, not by much, just underneath it, but nonetheless, hitting beautifully. Amazing daily chart to look at this extension move. Literally from the first of the month in January, the first of the year, it's gone from 127.5 to 150. I mean, that is a huge move. Percentage-wise, even that's humongous. But it is now coming into major resistance, folks. I anticipate Goldman will be a pullback candidate next week. I think it comes back to about 145. Not a huge pullback. The markets are, in my opinion, overbought. They continue to be overbought, but markets can remain overbought for long periods of time, which is why I've stayed on the sidelines from shorting almost anything. I've just 3 shorts out there. One's in the money, one's flat, one's slightly out of the money, but that's only making up a quarter of my portfolio. I also have long plays out there, a lot of small caps, including Pacific Ethanol and a few others, and those are doing very well. The reason why I don't want to short any more is because we have to hit the 152.35 level, which is a key level on the SPY. All right, that should be where the market tops out when it hits or gets close to that area. Then you really would expect to pull back off of that range. But again, just be ready. I mean, it easily could go up there, even pierce that level. So you don't want to ever put all your eggs in one basket. In other words, you never want to go all in and risk getting hammered when the market can squeeze like this, especially when you're by the 14,000 level, because they want to close it above 14,000. It's just the way it's going to be. All right, let's take a look here. Markets continue to hold up here. Take a look. We've just bounced off that 14,000 level. Again, you can just see how this playbook is so obvious here. It doesn't even take a caveman to know this. You could even be a pile of goo that has no common sense whatsoever, and you could probably figure out what they're doing here. In terms of day trading, continues to be great day trading environment. I'd say the last 2 to 3 weeks over the January period here, best day trading weeks probably in a long time. Intraday stock chat is hopping, day trading galore because of earnings volatility and everything. Every day, at least 5 to 10 plays out there and winners every which way. All right, guys, so that's what we have going on here. Let me just see if there's anything else. Chevron bouncing nicely today on earnings. Exxon also reported that's flat. So, again, Exxon showing us some weakness, but nice move on Chevron here. If you look at Chevron, Chevron was a great call earlier in the week. I called for a small pullback off gap fill right here, and it hit gap fill, and then the 2 days before earnings, it collapsed back down. Obviously, it's bouncing now, but that was just a great level. So many great levels in this market, guys. I mean, there's just so much money to be made every which way. You just got to enjoy all the profits. It's all in the PPT methodology. It's proprietary strategies we've come up with, and they will literally just tell us, all right, do you go long or short here or neutral? One or the other or the other. Pick one, whichever the chart's telling you, and you do it. It's great stuff. All right, again, folks, come join us here. 7-day free trial to the Research Center if you're a swing trader or an investor, or a 7-day free trial to the intraday stock chat if you're a day trader. Again, crazy stuff. Hope everyone has a great holiday football weekend. It's really just more of a Super Bowl, but it's kind of like a holiday. And again, I know I'll be watching the big game, eating some nachos and some chicken and so forth. Hope everyone, again, has a great weekend. Take care, folks.